Hi, I'm Nigerian. Happy New Year to you. Yeah, it's a new year. Welcome to this first episode of the year 2018 of Love, Life, Faith. My name is Nigerian, author of Selfies with Bible Girls, among other books. And today, basically, the girl I'll be talking to you for the next 10 minutes on how to fulfill your New Year resolutions. I know there's a lot of excitement in the air right now. In fact, every new year, there's something that comes upon you that makes you feel like everything is gonna be new. Like you're a new person, the world is gonna change, and everything is gonna work in your favor simply because the calendar changed. Ding dong, sorry to shock you. The new year will be what you make of it. I think the reason why a lot of people fail at their New Year resolutions is because they automatically assume that everything is going to work out simply because it's a new year. No, it's what you make of it. And that's what I want to help you do. I want to help you after January, after February, after March, even until December, keep your New Year resolutions. And I believe by God's grace, I'm the best person to help you do that. You want to know why? In the year 2017, I was able to, by God's grace, achieve like 90% of my New Year's resolutions. I know, right? That's like an A plus, I believe. And so I want to help you do that. I'm not going to show you how to be me or do what I did, but I just want to show you some principles that I think will help you in this new year. In 2017, I published my book, Selfies with Bible Girls, which has gathered critical acclaim. Imagine that. I've been on television, radio stations, in newspapers because of this book in the same year, right? I've also evangelized to more people than ever before in my life and mentored even more people. I've had more speaking engagements than ever before. Quitting my job and being financially independent, going into full-time ministry as well. So this is not about me blowing my trumpet. I just want to show you that I'm a little bit qualified to help you out. All right, so let's get started. What's the first step to achieving your New Year resolutions in 2018? Well, it starts with what your resolutions are. In other words, you have to set smart goals for yourself. They must be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So I'm going to start from specific. What exactly do you hope to achieve in the new year? I don't just say, oh, I want to be a better person, or I want to have more money. If it's a financial goal, how much exactly are you looking at? And then you put specific plans in place to achieve that. If you want to be a better person, in what areas? You can say, oh, I don't want to get angry as often as I used to. I want to be more forgiving. And it's exactly what I'm going to do to ensure that I'm more forgiving. Also, your goals must be measurable. So you don't say, oh, well, I just want to turn from Orobo to Lepashandi. Like when I wanted to lose weight, I said, oh, I want to lose 15 kg. I eventually ended up losing about 16, 17 kilos. But I had an idea of how much weight I wanted to lose. So your goals must be measurable. If you're a blogger, don't just say, I just want to write more articles in the new year. How many more articles do you want to write? So they have to be measurable so that you can gauge your success as time goes on. For example, with the weight thing again, okay, I'll talk about that when I'm talking about your goals being time bound. They must also be attainable. So if you're saying, oh, I want to be Nigeria's president by the year 2018, you've already failed before you even begun, because there's no election, there's no presidential election in the year 2018. So your goals must be attainable. They must also be relevant. Not just relevant for you, but relevant for others. So I always ask people, how does it count for others and how does it count for eternity? That's what true relevance is. Don't just make plans for yourself, make plans for other people. Entering 2017, I wanted to make sure that I talk to more people about Jesus every day. That's very important. So make plans for others, make plans for the gospel, and make plans that will last for eternity. They must also be time bound. So I was telling you about how I needed to lose weight, right? And so what I did was I said, okay, in the first month, I'm going to try and lose 5 kg. I eventually lost 6 by God's grace. But when you have time limits, it helps you gauge your success, like I said, and it even spurs you to do more. Remember to set smart goals, not just wishes, but goals. The next thing I'll talk about is that you pick your battles. Even if you want to do everything, you can't do everything at the same time. So let's say you have a list of 20 things you like to do in the year 2018. My advice, try and cut it to 10. See if you can achieve those first 10 in the first half of the year, and then move on to the other 10 in the other half of the year. When you pick your battles, you are able to focus even more. I would even prefer for you to have not more than 5 things you would like to do, and then begin with that. Many times you might need to pick the things that are what I call foundational issues. For example, in 2017, I knew I wanted to build my brand, but I didn't just go ahead and start doing a photo shoot. I realized, oh, I need to lose weight first. So sometimes you pick the foundational issues and then you move on from there. Another important point about picking your battles is understanding your motives for doing things. Are you simply doing it because other people are doing it? So have the right motives. How is this going to benefit me? How is it going to benefit the gospel? Is this what God will have me do? Is this something that I can be good at or strong at? When you do that, you're able to streamline your goals into things that can actually work for you and not necessarily because everybody else is doing them. One of the most important points when it comes to achieving your new resolutions in 2018 is to start now. Now that your blood is pumping, now that there is fire under your bottom. If you don't start now, it's not later, alright? So what I did, and I'm still going to talk about losing weight again, what I did was I said, okay, I'm going to begin from January the 2nd, my weight loss class. And that really helps. But if you're saying you're going to wait till February or till the 3rd week in January, no. If you even happen to see this video before 2018, start now. That's very, very important. Start now. It doesn't matter whether you're afraid or whatever. Just start now. Another thing I began to do in the year 2017, at the beginning of the year 2017, was to begin to preach in the bus from my first day. From my first day to the bus, I began to preach in the bus. Because when you do that, you set the atmosphere for the things that are to follow, and you build a habit that you can keep continuously. And number 4, have a support system or an accountability system. Again, back to the weight loss example. What I did was I joined a weight loss class that helped me lose weight. And so from the beginning, I had people who were watching for me, who I'll send pictures of my meals to. When I wanted to write selfies with Bible Girls, I began to talk about the book to my social media audience. I've not even finished the book yet, but I began to tell them, oh, it's coming out this day, it's going to be launched this day. When you do that, you hold yourself accountable. I'm not asking you to keep on making promises that you can't fulfill, but I'm asking you to pick specific things, like I said, pick your battles, and then build a support system. People around you who can encourage you in line with your goals. For some of you, your goal might not be to start something, it might be to stop a bad habit. Begin now to change your company and stay around people who can actually help you change. I'll also talk about this. Believe in yourself. Someone once said that if you believe you can, and if you believe you can't, you're right. Especially when it comes to things that don't have to do with your eternal salvation. You need to work it out. So you are saved by grace through faith, not of works. But if you are going to lose weight, you need to work hard. If you're going to have good grades, you need to work hard. That is the function of works. You received grace to work in that regard. So you must learn to work hard and stretch yourself. You must also learn to believe in yourself, even when nobody can. The Bible says that David encouraged himself in the Lord. So even when nobody else believes in you, learn to believe in yourself. And when you do, it's only a matter of time before they start believing as well. Number 6 is to trust God and obey Him. I always say that for a Christian, success doesn't just come from the outcome. It comes from obeying God. The moment I do what God has asked me to do, I'm already successful. So even whether or not people notice, I know, okay, this is what God wants me to do, and I obey and move in that direction. That's what I want to do in this new year. Are there things that God has been telling you over time and you've been procrastinating? This is the time to obey God, alright? And trust that His Spirit is at work in you to will and to do of His good pleasure, to help you fulfill all that He has called you to fulfill. Number 7, learn to celebrate victories, especially with your tribe. So if there are people who believe in you and what you're trying to achieve, when you reach a milestone, learn to share with them, oh, this is what I'm able to achieve. Not only does that encourage you to do better moving forward, it also inspires other people. And when you inspire other people, you are putting fuel under your feet as well. So learn to celebrate victories with your tribe. Number 8, push for excellence even in the small things. By God's grace, Selfies with Bible Girls has had a really good run this year. It was launched in August and we're almost through with 8,000 copies as it is. But there were times when I would go for a book reading and there would be 3 people. There are times when I would go for a book reading and nobody would buy a book. There are also times that I would go somewhere and the books would sell out. But I learned to push for excellence even in the small things. In that meeting I told you where there were just 3 of us, I took really good pictures. I handled the audience like I was happy to see them because I was. So you must learn to push for excellence even in the small things, and you must keep showing up. even when things don't turn out the way you hope, because you never really know when your big break is going to come, so you have to always be ready. Number 9, this is my second to the last point. Understand the times and seasons of your life. I think if I had tried to write Selfish Bible Girls last year, or quit my job and gone into full-time ministry 2 years ago, it might have been a different story entirely. So learn to understand the times and seasons of your life. Sometimes some things don't work because it's not yet time for them to work. So be discerning. How are you discerning? In prayer and the study of the word. Listen to the voice of the Holy Spirit on your inside. Understand the times and seasons of your life. If not, you're only going to be trying to force things that you think should be happening, and then you'll be surprised when they are not working. So understand your pace, understand your process, understand the times and seasons of your life. My final and I believe most important point when it comes to fulfilling your 2018 resolutions is to be consistent. You'll be surprised at how many overnight successes have risen from simply being slow and steady. So you want to study your Bible more? Don't worry about trying to read one book in an entire day. How about you start with 2 chapters a day and don't miss a day? You want to lose weight? Don't just stand up and exercise for 2 hours in one day. Why don't you start with like 10 minutes a day and then you move on consistently from there? So you keep showing up. Pick consistency over brute force. Find out what works for you. Don't be afraid to fail. Sometimes plan B isn't necessarily failure. It just means that that's a better route for you. Keep showing up, have a glorious year, and make sure you come back and watch this video time and time again. Thank you very much for listening, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can know when I have new videos coming out. Have a pleasant, fulfilling year. God bless you.